Hello everyone, it is a wonderful pleasure to be with you here today. We are in Atlanta, visiting from Miami. We are involved with the Spiritist work in the dissemination of the books through the International Spiritist Publisher Council, ADC of America. And we are pleased to be here to talk to you about a truly polemic topic, a topic that is really hard to talk among, especially where religion is concerned, and the ideas revolving, which is the topic of abortion. To begin our reflections about this topic today, we decided to enlighten ourselves with the Spiritist teachings. And with such, we decided to go to the Spirit's book on chapter 7, which is entitled The Return to Corporeal Life. Now, as Spiritists, we know that we reincarnate, which is the reason why Allan Kardec chose this topic and these very important questions regarding the return of the spirit to the physical life. How does it happen? What happens at the moment of conception? Most of all, the joining of the soul with the body. Are there consequences when someone commits an abortion? What about when the mother's life is in danger? Are there consequences for her in accordance to the Spiritist teachings? Very well. Allan Kardec, through a clear and concise idea, posed the following question. Question 344 of the Spirit's book. At what moment does the soul actually join the body? The union begins at conception, but is only complete at the moment of birth. From the moment of conception, the spirit designated to inhabit a given body is connected to it by a fluidic tie, which gets tighter and tighter up to the instant the child is born. The newborn's cry announces that it has entered the number of the living and the servants of God. Philosophically speaking, we can look at reincarnation as one of the greatest love stories ever told, because we see the Creator applying that of which we know very little of. Opportunities that we are given to be here, opportunities of growth, opportunities of readjustments, of being aligned with certain laws that govern the entire universe, whether we are living in accordance, aware that they exist or not, we are governed by these laws. Now, there is much conflict about this topic today, and the Spiritist teachings tell us that in regards of knowing that the spirit gets united to the physical body at the moment of conception, it brings about an important second for us to reflect here. When we learn that the heartbeat starts at 18 days, we know that there is life. And while most people have a very materialistic view of what happens during conception, for the Spiritists, we know that there is a beautiful planning that happens behind the scenes. The planning, how the spirit will live, the country where it will grow in, the culture it will be exposed, the family it will have, the affinities or lack thereof that he will encounter. And we understand that all of this is going to serve as an experience, a temporary experience in his immortal life. Once created, our spirit will always exist. But in order for us to be able to acquire the knowledge that all of us wish to have and have the true happiness that we all aspire for, it is necessary that we grow, that we evolve, that we progress, spiritually speaking. And we do so by the means of reincarnation. And this is why this topic is so very important to us today. Allan Kardec had another interesting question for us to think about. Question 358. Is artificial abortion a crime regardless of the time of conception? Well, here we go. A crime is always committed when the law of God is transgressed. When doing a research in reading this answer here by the Spirits, we learned that in the United States alone, states vary on what they consider to be legal to terminate a pregnancy in accordance with the number of weeks that the fetus is gone under. They continue. The mother or any other person involved always commits a crime upon taking the life of a child before its birth because it prevents a soul from experiencing the trials for which the unborn's body was to have been the instruments. So here we are. We mentioned the God's law, or divine laws as we call it. But the higher spirits are going to tell us that when we commit a crime, we are transgressing the God's law, or God's law. Now, what is considered to be a crime? If I kill someone, it's a crime. Yes, it's a serious crime. But if I lie to benefit from something for myself, I'm also committing a crime. A wrong is always a wrong. It doesn't matter how we look at it. And when we transgress a law, it's as if we have become misaligned in the proper path. And readjustments will be called upon so that we can realign ourselves and become reharmonized as far as our spirit is concerned. Not just that, they say that not only is the mother who is going to be held accountable for the situation, but those who were also included in the decision. Here we begin with the mother. We begin with somebody perhaps who is demanding that she might have an abortion, maybe an abusive husband, maybe somebody who is ignorant, as is ignoring these laws about a life that is being information. A doctor is going to be held accountable because he partook in the crime. Nurses will be held accountable in the law of love and justice, and society collectively as well. Because when a country allows for an abortion to take place, it is promoting it as opposed to educating. When we drive along the interstate in the state of Florida, especially when we're coming from the north side of it, there are many signs posted that are trying to make people see that there are options to abortion, adoption, hotlines. Sometimes it's a mother who is insecure. She has no one she can count on. It's a financial situation that she doesn't know how she's going to be able to provide for a second mouth to feed. Maybe she finds out that the fetus information is going to have some physical difficulties. Maybe she's afraid that she won't know how to love. But one of the things that we should be promoting is offering an option that is available for her. Because it's true that if I should guide somebody not to commit an abortion, I should also be extending my help so that she knows that she's not alone in this responsibility. Because after all, we are all brothers and sisters in humanity. And what Spiritism calls about is this universal view of family where we extend a hand when we are able to assist someone else. On a personal note, I was adopted. And my love and care for my mother, who gave me up for adoption because she could have aborted me, and the extent of experiences that a soul is given when somebody sees in the future life in not choosing an abortion is also going to be taken into consideration. Now, the Spiritist teachings tell us that we are all held accountable for our actions. But what's also taken into account is how much we know. So if I'm in a position, spiritually speaking, where I'm not aware of these laws, am I going to suffer certain consequences inside the law of cause and effect? Perhaps, yes. But are they going to be greater or lesser than someone who already knows best? The divine justice is something that we don't have a view completely, and we don't truly understand how it governs. But one of the things that we do know is that love of God and His justice is infallible. And not just that, when somebody does have an abortion and they are aware of what they did, the road to reparation readjustment is available. And sometimes the person feels like she may not have a second opportunity, or she may feel a void, a gap that she feels that cannot be filled. In reality, the spirits tell us that the road to reparation is to practice the law of love, so she can perhaps become pregnant again. If she is unable to because she has made any kind of damages to her reproductive system, she is welcome to adopt. If that is not an option, she can become a mother in humanity, meaning extending that of what she would give to someone else's nurturing love and apply it to her brothers and sisters, like Mary of Magdalene did. Because when Mary of Magdalene had a lifetime filled with what they considered sins, which we see it as simply missing the mark, Jesus invited her to motherhood. And when she said, "Damned of me, because I can't be a mother," he said, "You can be a mother in humanity." Do we need to bear children to make it feel like it's ours? Because sometimes a woman will reincarnate, or a man, and they won't be unable to bear children. And that desire and that yearn, and they can't. They can't adopt. There are circumstances in life where they just can't have that opportunity. Life explains that perhaps it's an opportunity for us to value that which we did not in a previous existence. Now, if an opportunity arises and it happens, and you're listening to this video and you feel like you're alone and there is nothing else for you to do, and understanding that there is forgiveness and there is a road to reparation, just think about the soul in creation. Because if we place ourselves in the foot or in the place, in the shoes of the Spirit, we are going to realize that much like we did before reincarnating, they are going through a whole planning. They are filled with hope to begin again. They are filled with the wishes to be able to make amends for past mistakes. And they count on you. They count on you to be that vehicle to let them get here to start again. The life in the womb is really important. This is why some women, if they are unable to feel like they can care for the children, they can rest assured that they can have options of adoptions, like it happened to me and happens to so many other children, and know that they're acting as co-creators with God. And there is no greater repair than doing exactly that. In life, sometimes we are not sure what the limits are, because some women may feel they have rights, and they do. We all have rights. But one of the things that the Spirit tells us is that we have to start considering what is the limit to what we have the right to. They say, picture yourself in the other shoes. If you would wish to have something good done to you, you have to see it being done to them as well. The limit to what we have the right to do stops when we see that we are damaging an opportunity for someone else or harming them. Because in reality, we are harming ourselves first. And this is the beauty of understanding that everything is governed under this law and it's infallible. So 3 situations. If you are pregnant and you're thinking about an abortion, think again. Think about all of the tools available for you for assistance, available today in society. If you are pregnant and you committed an abortion, if you're feeling that void, there are ways to fill it up. Pretend that you have 2 tools available to cover the gap. You have a thread and you have a needle. And the cloth you're going to use is service towards someone else. That's what you're going to do to make amends. You're going to be of service, charitable, loving, and most of all, apply self-forgiveness and look for therapy to assist. If you cannot get pregnant, and if you cannot have any children right now, there are other ways to be useful in society, being a mother to the universal brothers and sisters that are out there in need of assistance. The only thing that we need to realize is whether a crime was committed or not, the road to reparation is infinite. And it's only waiting for you and I to take the very first step. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.